Hello everybody, it's Chad here again. I was going to give a little demonstration on how the septic tank works. I know in our area, in different areas, there's different kinds of tanks and such like that, but in our area, this is mostly what you have. I made a little model here of it. It's not the best model, but it'll give you the idea. But most of them around here is concrete. Most of them's 1,000 gallons capacity. Some of them's 1,200 if you get a pretty good sized house. The more bathrooms you got, the bigger your tank. But most of them around here is 1,000 gallons. Concrete. They're starting to do a lot of plastic ones, but because you can get the plastic ones in and out of, or in places that you can't in concrete, because you don't have to use a truck. You can use like a small track hoe to place them. But here's a septic tank. Whenever you get it, it looks like this, but concrete. 1,000 gallons. And they've got 2 lids on them. They got 2 access lids. Well, some of them has 3, but I'll show you what I'm talking about. This one has got, hold on just a second. This one has got 2 lids. You got one on the solid side, which is right here. I'll show you this. You got one on the solid side, which is right here, and these are concrete lids. And you got one over here on your water side. Okay, now if you could take your top off your septic tank, which you can't, the newer ones anyway, the old ones you can, that's a whole different story though. But if you could take the top off, it looks like this. Your pipe coming from your house runs into your tank, and that's where your sewage and poop and pee and washing machine water, sink water, all that comes into your house, and it drops into this side. And then you got a baffle right here, and halfway down that baffle you got I guess it's about 2-inch gap, maybe a little more, cut in the concrete wall. And what happens is this, as you use it, it fills up, and then the water will go in that baffle and go over. Well, this continues to fill. You know, that side over there will fill up with this side. But this side over here holds all your scum layer and your water and your sludge layer, and the water goes over here also. But the sludge, it goes to the bottom. The sludge goes to the bottom, and that's where all the bacteria goes, and well, the whole tank's got bacteria, but that's where it goes and pretty much like eats it. The bacteria will eat it up. And then you got your water layer, then you got your scum layer, which would be like your fats, your greases, stuff like that, and it's floating on top, and it can get pretty thick. And then what happens is that water gets up to here, it'll go on this side, and then everything fills up, and it'll be totally full, because the septic tank works at full capacity. Once you pump a septic tank, a four family home can fill up a septic tank once I pump it in about, I think it's 4 days. I think the average person uses about 80, on average, like 80 gallons a day for one person. But the water fills up, and on this side, you've got a sanitary tee, which I think I've got one over here. I can kind of show you what I'm talking about. You've got this. And this is just a rough example of what one looks like. It's not exactly like this, but it pretty much is. But you got that, and this part here is about 18 inches long, and it goes down, and this goes in to your drain field. This hooks into right here on your septic tank, and it goes out like that, and it hooks into your drain field, and it comes up, and it's about right here most of the time. And it just trickles into your drain field. As it fills up, it goes in here, and it just trickles out. And a lot of the newer ones on this side, they've got a filter that goes down in here. And that's why it's important whenever you get your tank pumped to always be sure if it's a newer, I think it's a 99 or above, has for sure got a filter. But it really needs a filter. It don't have to have a filter, because you can just use this, and all the scum and stuff stays in here at the bottom, and the water will come up, and the scum level will be here, and it still can't get into your drain field. But it's best to have a filter. but you don't, you know, have to have one. But that's what that looks like. And like I said, it mounts right here, and then it goes out into your drain field, and that's where it goes. But the most important thing is, though, is what happens a lot of times is if you don't do proper maintenance, like every 3 or 4 years, like you're supposed to, this scum layer will get so thick that it'll start coming up and it'll start getting over in here. And then it gets over in here and starts building up, and it gets into your filter. And if you're lucky enough to have a filter, usually the filter will stop it. Well, if you don't, if it goes out this that ain't got a filter, well, you can imagine what it does. It goes out in your leach field and it causes all kinds of problems. So that's the reason you need to get it pumped every, you know, depending on how many's in the house, but usually about every 4 years. But that scum layer, it'll be in the bottom, and it just keeps getting thicker and thicker and thicker, because a lot of it gets ate, but you know, after 20 plus years, you know, it can't eat all of it, so it starts building. And then your scum layer on top, it will actually get so thick that I've seen here lately, the scum layer will get so thick on top that what happens is whenever you go to the bathroom and use toilet paper, that toilet paper falls out and it'll go in your scum layer. Well, the water just disperses on each side. Well, the toilet paper needs water to decompose. Well, the water leaks out on each side of that scum layer, and the toilet paper just starts building. And next thing you know, you got your inlet pipes like this, and your toilet paper just keeps building. I mean, it'll just keep building, and then finally, it just, boom, you're stopped up. And I've got some videos where you can take a shovel or something and knock that out, and water just starts pouring out. But yeah, you don't want to get in that situation. So it's best to do proper maintenance. About every 3 to 4 years, you want to get it pumped. And a lot of people says, well, you know, it's been, 20 years and it's not giving no trouble. And I mean, I agree with them. I mean, it probably's not giving you trouble, but it's kind of like buying a new car. I tell people, you can buy a new car and never change the oil in it, but the day will come whenever it's going to tear up, and whenever it tears up, it's going to cost you a lot of money, and the septic system's the same way. But it's not a big deal. It's cheap insurance to get it pumped every 3 to 4 years. And a lot of them's buried around here. Now, some people, they'll take and put risers on. And basically a riser is just something, you just set a pipe on top of the ground, and then that's where your cap goes. You just do away with this one, the concrete lid, and you put a plastic cap on top of this, and that brings it up to ground level, and that makes it a lot easier to pump. And if you got risers on, a lot of times a septic pumper can get to you a lot quicker too, because they don't have to dig. And it's cheaper too, because digging just keeps getting more and more expensive. But that's it in a nutshell. Like I said, your water and pee and poop goes in this side. It gets divided right here, and then the water goes in this side. The water goes out into your leach field. That's basically how it goes, and it is filtered for the most part. But I hope everybody gets something out of this. I know I've had a lot of people asking me questions about how a septic tank works and all that stuff. But if anybody has any questions, just leave them in the comments and all that, and we'll try to answer them as best we can. But this is the septic tanks in my area. Now, some of them don't have this in some areas. They don't have the baffle wall. It's just a complete open system. And that's whenever you definitely need the filter on this side, because it's a must. But there's a few of the older ones around here like this. But like I said, most of the newer ones has got the baffle wall with a little cut in it right there. So, but anyway, well, I've rambled enough. So I hope this helps some people and answers some questions, and we'll keep doing what we're doing and all that. And if you ever need us, or North Buncombe Septic Service in Weaverville, So just give us a holler. See y'all.